Hello and welcome to another episode of Joysticks Plays. It's me, Saint Dead91, and I'm here to give my first impressions on Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which just came out. And this game is actually a direct sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, which came out in 2015. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, however, was first shown at E3 of 2017, so it's actually one of the longer waits for a game to come out, 2 years from its showing to release. I mean, it's no Persona 5, but it's still quite a long wait. Before I even get into anything else about the game, first thing, I think we should just take a minute to appreciate just how beautiful this game looks. I hope you can appreciate that from the gameplay I'm showing you. I love this art style. It's amazing. There's this thing that's been going around on the internet where people say every scene in Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a potential desktop background, and honestly it just looks amazing. Just like the last game of the series, actually, the developers and the artists went all out in making this game just look so freaking beautiful, and I really love it and I appreciate all their hard work. The game kicks off right where the last game ended, and I'm not going to go into any major game spoilers, don't worry. I'm only talking about the first hour or so of the game, so anything story related I'm saying here is basically just the setup of the whole game and the story, so don't worry. But there might be, there's gonna be spoilers for Ori and the Blind Forest, so spoiler alert is in effect. See, at the end of the last game, the antagonist Kuro, a giant black owl, died, sacrificing herself to save everyone, and she had one remaining egg out of the several that she had initially. And at the end of Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and friends decided to take care of the egg and bring it into their family. This game begins with that egg hatching, and they name the owlet that comes out Ku. Ku basically grows up with them, and she's one of their own, and then it gets to the time where Ku wants to learn how to fly, as birds want to do. Because Ku cannot seem to be able to fly on her own, Ori uses Kuro's feather, one of the last items you get from Ori and the Blind Forest, to assist her in flying. So they set off together, exploring the new power of flight that Ku has just gotten. And unfortunately, they fly a bit too far, and they stumble on an island where they are blown out of the sky in a storm and separated. So your job is, you're going to play as Ori, and you have to find Ku and get yourself and her back home. And honestly, I am prepared for this game to make me feel things. Last game tugged at my heartstrings way too hard, brought me close to tears multiple times. Just playing this first hour, man, I've been on a whole emotional roller coaster, just ups and downs. I'm pretty certain that this story is going to make most players feel something at the very least. So now story is out of the way. The next thing to talk about is the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty similar to the first game, although there are a few major changes. But at its core, it's still a Metroidvania where you acquire more abilities that allow you to explore more of the map. There are still puzzles and platforming challenges to obtain some keys to progress, so it's not very far removed from the first game. The few changes that I have noticed in the time I've played it, I actually find myself really liking these changes. One of the things they changed was the checkpoint system. In the first game, you had to use up some of your magic power to create checkpoint. That seems like a good system at first, but the thing is, at some point, especially later in the game, when you have acquired so many magic upgrades, you find out that it kind of trivializes save points, because you can basically create one every couple of steps. So now it's more like an autosave system, and the game decides what the checkpoints will be. You can't, if you have a hard platforming segment, you can't just create a new save point every 2 seconds. It's not gonna work like that. The combat system has actually been changed significantly as well. It's now more of a hack and slash game. In the first game, you had this accompanying spirit that would basically launch projectiles at your command, and so when fighting enemies in that game, your job basically was to keep mashing the attack button while jumping around and avoiding enemies. But now you actually have to engage them, and I think this is actually a lot better because it makes the combat a lot more engaging and a bit more of a challenge. So because now you actually have to go face to face with your enemy, and there will be some strategy like when is it safe to attack, when they have to run away, that kind of thing. So I actually really like that. In addition, there are also a couple of new systems. You can equip weapons to different buttons, and you can also equip some abilities. They just should show up here where I equip the ability to stick onto walls. I want to see how many abilities they get to acquire throughout the game and what the best combinations will be. So that's something I'm really excited about. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this game so far. I'm definitely going to keep on playing. Right now, the game is available on Xbox and Microsoft Windows only. We're holding out hope that there will be more ports in the future, hopefully the near future, because Microsoft seems to be less focused on exclusivity with their current moves. But the good thing is, if you have Game Pass, it's already available for you to download and play. So if you have Game Pass, take advantage of it. I mean, if you already have it, might as well just download the game, play it, and see for yourself. I recommend it though, and I think it's really enjoyable. So please give this game a try. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit like if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Also, let me know in the comments if you would like to see a full review of this game when I finish it. Thank you once again, and bye.